Folks, good afternoon and welcome on this Thursday, June 18th, to another time of your pastor rambling a little bit, Rom's Ramblings. And I have a few things that I want to share with you today towards the end of this week. One of them is just to continue to pray for your leadership, please, at the church. Decisions being made these days by pastors, by leadership of churches and congregations and so forth are not easy. Because there truly is risk involved with every single decision that you make, and sometimes more than others. And of course, our number one goal is to love and to care for this congregation the best way we can in the most responsible way that we can. Let me share with you, I keep talking about the leadership team and the leaders of this church, and I depend on these folks very much. To help talk through and discuss things, but even more importantly than that, to help pray through issues that we're trying to decide on. And then if the five of us can agree together, then we take the necessary steps to do whatever comes next in the process in the Methodist Church. So anyway, the leadership team who I've kind of surrounded myself with and have been helping with making decisions and sifting through lots of materials, health-related materials these days. Our lay leader, first of all, John Mintner Jr., the math guy. He is, by the way, when you see John, congratulate him. He just recently retired from teaching. I think he'll still be involved with the Lamira High School and so forth, doing a variety of things, but probably not in the classroom now. So anyway, but John is our lay leader, and he's a part of this leadership team. Kathy Drexler, who's our staff parish relations chair. That's our personnel committee for the church. Kathy is a part of this leadership team. Gordy Zimmerman, who is our church council chair. He is a part of this leadership team and one of the folks that we kind of support each other and pray through things together. And the final one would be our stewardship and finance chair, Josh Marshy. And so this is my leadership team here at Trinity. And these are the folks that I've been meeting together with pretty much weekly. I think we missed 1 week. But since we started several weeks ago, we've been meeting weekly to talk about the church, about what we can do. And coming up with, I have to say, some real creative ideas that you are going to hear about soon. But continue to pray for us as we make some decisions and try to get us back together, again, in a responsible way, in a fairly safe way soon. I will tell you July 19 is our target date. And so we are going to be introducing worship on the grounds. We're going to start outside because it's much more safe these days, we are told, than inside. Our restrictions outside are much less, probably half what they are if we come inside. And so we're working towards some good things there. So please continue to pray for us as we pull this together in the next couple weeks. Also, we've been going through this Stress to Rest worship series for the last several weeks, and you've been hearing messages on that. A lot of different stressors in our life, and we're going to conclude that series this coming Sunday, the 21st, and we'll be wrapping that up with the last stressor, and you will hear about that on Sunday morning. That'll be released, so whenever you want to watch it, that's fine. But please do consider joining us for worship on Sunday. Again, it'll be on our YouTube, Trinity Lamira YouTube channel. And I'll also have a notice up on Facebook as well, if you're a Facebook follower. But our theme for this whole series, this is my point, our theme for this whole series has been from Matthew chapter 11 and verses 28, 29, right around in there. And I'd like to share those with you. I'm going to look sideways for just a second at my screen, but I want to share these verses with you one more time, and then I'm just going to talk about the reality of it a little bit. But this was Jesus talking to his disciples. He was praying a prayer of thanksgiving, and then after that prayer with his disciples, he said this. He said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." And so if we're tired, if we're drug out, if we're wore down, who do we need to depend on for that rest that we need to get re-energized, refocused, and so forth? The one we put our faith in. That's who we need to depend on. And so that's what Jesus says. He goes on in verse 29 and says this, Take my yoke upon you. A yoke, of course, is the heavy wooden harness that fits over the shoulders of an ox or oxen in Jesus' day, to kind of carry the load or help move the load. He says, let me teach you because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. Well, I want to talk about the reality of this. The reality of rest is this: every single one of us are in human bodies. We are in physical bodies that get tired. And if we don't take care of these bodies and get rest once in a while, we're going to wear down, wear out, or maybe even worse. And so I know what's right. Sometimes it's hard as a pastor even to lead by example. But the older I get, the more I want to do that, have a desire to lead by example. And what I'm telling you is this, is I've got a bunch of vacation that I have not taken from 2019, 2020. And I'm going to take some of that real soon here. Every Sunday is covered. You're going to have worship every Sunday. My brother Stan, my son Josh preached a week or so ago. My brother Stan is going to be preaching for a couple weeks here. And our own musicians will take care of the music and so forth. But please do continue to join us online for worship and so forth. I think it'll prove to be interesting, and maybe hearing somebody besides me will be interesting for you too for a week or so. But just heart to heart, I'm being honest with you, Jane and I are pretty wore out right now. We have been going full tilt since about the second week of March. I've had to depend on Jane to do the camera work and to run the video and to help me with that. And so she literally could be called at a moment's notice to come over to the church and help me because we weren't supposed to have people together. So she and I, because we live together and she knows how to run the equipment, she was here. But we are getting to the point where we're a bit wore out. And so we're going to get some rest so we can come back energized, ready to go for the rest of the summer and the fall and so forth. And I just wanted to let you know that. And so we're going to get out of town. We're actually going to go see our two grandkids. Our two grandsons live in Nashville. They've actually progressed into phase 3 of this whole deal, by the way. And so they're farther ahead than we are. So it should be a fairly safe area to go into, but we're going to be staying with our daughter, Rachel, there and family, and pretty much staying to ourselves. But I told her if we just sit on her front porch for 4 days, I'm fine with that. But we're going to go visit them and then maybe do a little bit of camping when we get back north. But just letting you know, I've got 2 pastors on call, one from Fond du Lac, one from Oakfield, that are on call while I'm gone. So if there's any emergencies, but all of our leadership and that leadership team that I told you about, they know this, they're aware of this, especially Kathy Drexler. Jessica, of course, knows everything that's going on here in the office, so you can also always get a hold of Jessica if you need pastoral support or help in any way. But it's time to get some rest. And so Jane and I are going to go do that so that we can come back refreshed, ready to go, and ready for a new chapter here at Trinity. We love you guys. Thank you for joining me today. Take care of yourselves. We will do the same. And we'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.